welcome back to the channel. My name is Katie. If you saw the title of today's video, this is getting weirder and weirder with Amber Heard. It's to the point where it's not just ridiculous and we're all laughing about the lies and how silly she is and all of this. It's actually getting to the point where are people's lives at risk with all the things she's been involved in. Now, this is kind of like a part 3 to a couple other videos I have, guys, so make sure and go check those out. I'll have links in the description, and this is all about her relationship with Elon Musk, because we know there's a lot that's coming out about this, and there's a lot of information that says that Amber, and we've known this for a while, but more and more stuff is coming to light about the details about Amber blackmailing him, and that he actually might be scared for his own life. And he even tweeted about it. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to go into all of these details. I just keep thinking this subject will calm down, and it doesn't. It just gets crazier and crazier. And then we have different tweets. We have people coming out and saying things. We're getting photos. We're getting proof. It's getting really weird. And if you guys follow me, you know I've talked about this stuff on repeat when it comes to what actually goes on in Hollywood, that they have these cuddle parties. Please infer, because it's YouTube, where people go and intimacy happens, and many times intimacy happens forced, and intimacy may or may not happen with minors, and really awful things. And it's all used to get blackmail on some of the richest people on the planet to keep getting what you need, because that's another thing. We keep hearing poor Amber Heard has no money, and yet right now she's in Tel Aviv. Either she's fleeing the country, or somebody is footing the bill for that, or she does have money and she's lying. So what exactly is happening? We're going to dive into all of it, but before we do, guys, if you're new, hi, how are you? My name's Katie, and on this channel, I like to giggle about everything in the mainstream news and how silly it all is, because we hear nothing about Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeff, an airplane, and that sentencing in a little black book, but we're force-fed this. All right, I don't know what else to do. I'm just going to laugh at it all. And if you want to laugh with me, make sure and subscribe, hit that notification bell. Yeah, I guess that's it. That's my little shill. So what is happening? Well, earlier this year, and I'm going to get into all of this, Elon actually made a tweet talking about the fact that somebody might be after him and that he might not be here anymore. And it got everybody in an uproar. They're like, what's happening? What's he been involved in? Now, we know Elon is one of the richest people on the planet. Well, when I say that loosely. Because here's my opinion, guys. The people who really have the money, we're never going to know who they are. But there are people, kind of figureheads, with money that we can see that we are told this is the richest person. Do I believe he's the richest? No. I think there are all types of crazy rich psychopaths that make sure that nobody knows exactly what's going on with their finances. But Elon, from what we're told by the mainstream media, is out there as one of the richest people. Being one of the richest people, and I've said this before, I actually tend to like Elon a little bit because he seems more like he's of the people, right? He likes meme culture. I'm not saying he's perfect, and I'm not saying I necessarily trust him, but I tend to like him more than I do a lot of other people, right? I also like that he's on the spectrum and that he's open about it, because I think more and more people should be who are in business and who do really well at the top like that. But when it comes to these mega, mega rich people, guys, this is what you have to think about. Regardless of what he does, regardless of how hard he tries to maybe be a decent person, when you're at that level of wealth, you are going to be dealing with all different types of evil, period. Point blank. I don't care who you are. I don't care what the situation is. It's just what it is. You're going to deal with all kinds of crap and craziness, and you're going to be subjected to it and around it. I've always said I think Elon, he might walk that line where he's trying to skirt around some of that, or he may be, knee deep in it all. We don't fully know. But what we do know and what's coming out is that Amber Heard apparently was the ringleader of these cuddle parties for the extremely wealthy, and she would be on a stage in a throne, and people would be doing acts to her, and she'd be doing acts to other people. And this is apparently how she met Elon and started dating him and the whole thing. And then on top of that, there's rooms and places where people go to be intimate, sometimes forced, sometimes it might be minors. And as a result of all of that, it's all about getting different types of information on these people to hold over them. And that's what we're seeing with Elon. So Elon has probably been privy to a lot of this stuff regardless. Now, not just that, when you're at Elon's level, the amount of money you're dealing with and the types of people you're dealing with, it's crazy. And again, a lot of evil surrounding that. So there was a lot of speculation as to, okay, what exactly could be happening that Elon is saying somebody could be after him. But at the same time, because of his level of wealth, I would think that's almost more of a natural state for him to be in. Somebody like that is going to have paranoia, not necessarily because he's got mental issues, but because it's the situation he's in. I get really tired of us blaming everything on mental illness when a lot of times it's like, no, it's the fact that you're in a horrible situation. That's the only way to cope. It's actually a natural thing for your body to be going through. Not that we shouldn't always work to trying to be calm, right? And have control of ourselves. I'm just saying that drives me nuts. So let's go ahead. I want to dive into this and I want to show you guys exactly what I found about these tweets and where this ties in possibly to Amber Heard. And my question about all of this is that is Elon Musk through these tweets, is he trying to warn us about what we're seeing now? So here we go. From Vanity Fair, it says, Elon Musk teases his own mysterious ending. His mom says that's not funny. Musk's tweet came after he was apparently targeted by Russian space chief Dmitry Rogozin in a statement about SpaceX Starlink terminals. Now, that being said, we're going to get into this. People have speculated what's going on, but nobody knows for sure. So be aware of that. There is some speculation, and we're going to get into that. And it says, in what appeared to be a dark Twitter joke on Sunday night, Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk suggested that he could not be here under mysterious circumstances after he was apparently he was apparently, people said that they were going to do not nice things to him, and it was the Russian space chief Dmitry Rogozin. Yes, the word I'm referring to, YouTube has gotten mad at me for saying. How silly. I know. Rogozin, who has led Russia's state space corporation since 2018, publicly targeted Musk for supplying what Rogozin called the Nazi Azov Battalion and the Ukrainian Marines in Mariupol with hardware for SpaceX's Starlink satellite internet system, according to a translated statement by Rogozin that Musk tweeted on Sunday night. In the early weeks of the Russia-Ukrainian war, the U.S. government paid SpaceX to equip Ukraine with over 1,300 Starlink terminals amid fears that Russia could knock out the country's communication infrastructure, according to a Washington Post report. SpaceX had also donated its Starlink service and nearly 3,670 terminals to Ukraine, with Musk tweeting in February. Starlink service is now active in Ukraine. More terminals en route. The statement attributed to Rogozin suggested that Russia believes the terminals are being used by Ukrainian forces, who have spent weeks holding out inside of a steel plant located within the besieged city of Mariupol. The delivery of the Starlink equipment was carried out by the Pentagon. Elon Musk thus is involved in supplying the fascist forces in Ukraine with military communication equipment, read the statement. As for this, Elon, you will be held accountable like an adult, no matter how much you'll play the fool. So this is what was tweeted to Elon. Musk commented that the word Nazi doesn't mean what Rogozin seems to think it does. He subsequently tweeted, if my life ends under mysterious circumstances, it's been nice knowing you. And later, there are no angels in, I'm not even sure I can say the word. There are no angels in when countries start fighting with each other. And then here's the actual tweet. You can see this here. And it says, May Musk, the billionaire's mother, replied to the nice to know you post by writing, that's not funny, leading her son to add, sorry, I will do my best to stay alive. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing at that, but I'm laughing because Elon is just silly. That's what Elon is silly. Not that the situation I'm laughing at, just his response. Musk also liked a post shared by Pranay Pathole, a software developer with a large Twitter following, urging the billionaire to stay safe, the world needs you. Pathole continued, Elon and his ventures are the reason I wake up every morning filled with hope, optimism, joy, and excitement that humanity has a better future with Elon around. Musk and Rogozin have entered one another's radars before. In 2014, the Russian official responded to Western sanctions by joking that the U.S. should use a trampoline to transport its astronauts to the International Space Station, given that NASA was relying on Russian spacecraft for its crewed missions. 6 years later, NASA used a SpaceX rocket to send 2 NASA astronauts to the ISS. Musk then capitalized on the launch by offering a counterpart to Rogozin's jab. The trampoline is working, he said in 2020. Musk, who struck a deal to purchase Twitter last month, is still raising the equity necessary to complete his takeover of the social media empire. And this was from a little bit ago, and we know right now that deal is at a standstill. So this had happened, and this was not too long ago. In fact, if you look at this tweet was from May 8th, 2022. At that point, now let's talk about some of the timeline here. At that point, Amber and Johnny were battling it out in court, and it is assumed that Elon was paying for everything. Now, this article says this most likely has to do with the situation with Russia and Ukraine. And maybe it does. I'm not saying it doesn't. But I also know Elon likes to, he's not always direct, right? And a lot of these people with money and these CEOs, a lot of times they like to skirt around things or they speak in code. And part of that is, again, when you have that much money, you are surrounded by and many times connected to a lot of evil. It's just what it is. But with the information coming out that I'm about to show you about Amber Heard, was this about Russia? Was this about what's going on there? Or is there more to it? Because we know that Amber has used the media, at least in my opinion, to fire warning shots at Elon Musk. For instance, when the trial was over and she was trying to do these appeals, we had heard that she had been going in secret, begging Johnny to lower that amount because she can't pay it. And she said, if you don't, I'm going to keep going after you. But how is she going to afford that? Well, shortly after that, we have articles come out that say that Elon also did physically not nice behaviors to Amber. But that information was coming out from depositions that were months ago. Why did it start recirculating? Because Amber plays the media. So in my opinion, I can't directly say this, allegedly, I think those were warning shots saying, hey, Musk, keep paying for everything. And this is the information that came out recently. Now, I have a whole video about this, guys, but I'm just going to do a little excerpt from that video on what's going on with Musk and Heard, and that Musk says he actually fears for people's lives and safety when it comes to Amber. So let's look at this. Now, this has to do, like I talked about, with Amber and the cuddle parties, which is how we have heard that she even met Elon. It says, now this is from an eyewitness. As months went on and the three of them grew closer. So there was a woman, apparently. There was a woman that was kind of girlfriends with both Amber Heard and Elon Musk, and they were kind of in a threesome situation, I guess. That's what this is referring to. As months went on and the three of them grew closer, she started spending more time with Amber at Elon's residence in Bel Air. He owned a cluster of properties designated for different purposes, one for parties, one for family, one for business. The general vibe could almost be described as wholesome. During these visits, she was privy to a different angle, a more relaxed version of Elon in a domestic setting. He was a doting parent, engaged and attentive when his children were around. She said she was surprised by what an amazing father he was, sitting sometimes for hours playing video games or cards with the boys while Heard and her cooked dinner and set the table. I don't know why that's, I mean, I don't know why it's a surprise he'd be a good father. Just because you're a billionaire doesn't mean you wouldn't, but when you're that busy, but then again, well, he's a good father maybe to some of his kids, because I'm sure a lot of them he just can't see because he has too many of them and they're all spread out. I'm not saying that to be mean, just the nature of when you have that many kids with that many people. It says, but the partying dominated their off time. The pharmaceuticals fueled the worst in both Elon and Amber, igniting erratic temper in her and frantic paranoia in him. When he realized she was cheating, he bugged her house and started tracking her cars. A rumor solidly confirmed by Jennifer Howell, who said Amber gave Whitney the Tesla Elon had gifted her when she realized it was outfitted with high-tech tracking devices, monitoring her every move. The obsessive measures stretched overseas. During the filming of Aquaman, while Amber was on location in Australia, Elon told Gia he watched her be intimate with an unknown man in the front yard of a rental house thanks to cameras he had installed in the property. As their relationship between Amber and Elon started to crumble, Musk grew increasingly neurotic and overly suspicious of everyone around him. Gia recalls waking up from a nap and finding her thumb in his hand, him trying to unlock her cell phone while she slept. That's scary. By this point, Gia was already pulling away from Heard after a series of questionable events convinced her that she was not safe when the girls were alone together. On one occasion, after spending the night with Heard, she said she woke up and had no recollection of time, so dazed that she was struggling to regain a steady sense of consciousness. A fog so heavy she compared it to coming out of anesthesia. Wow. She says, I knew if I continued this way with her, I might not wake up. I don't know what she gave me, but I knew my life was probably not safe with her when I was alone. So here we go. It says, but oh boy, she's actually a total psycho, and not a doubt in my mind will end somebody at some point if she is not already. That's directly from Elon. Let's keep looking. A Gatsby theme party in San Francisco is where it all came crashing to a head. Elon invited and encouraged Gia to come. She arrived in a beautiful beaded 1920s style gown with a handsome Hollywood date on her arm. She remembers the dress with loving detail. A pale pink, low swooping back, and hand-beaded bodice. Delicate, but intimate. She was under the impression that Amber would not be at the event. She knew Elon, and she had broken up, and things had gotten increasingly ugly after the Australia incident. So she was stunned to hear her name called out from atop the staircase by Amber above her as she was greeting people at the bar below. She says that Amber, spotting the actor she brought as her date, infuriated her, triggering a physical attack in front of a room full of people. And it says, God, he was so cute. Haha, because I was into him and she flipped out, I brought a guy, especially him. Nobody's allowed to play with her toys. She didn't actually give 2 F's about me. It's just one of her toys at the bottom of the toy chest, and as soon as someone else is playing with it, they want it back. That's her. Then the girl wrote, so it's about control mainly? She said, haha, she's like Veruca Salt. I want it now. Yes, and it says, she grabbed me by the neck and started slashing my dress with a wine opener like a maniac, screaming that she was going to slit my neck for blanking her boyfriend. It took a friend of Amber's to finally pull her off of Gia and away from the bar, but the shredded dress marked an indefinite end to whatever lingering infatuation still remained. She said Elon would pull her aside weeks later at another event, urging her to stay far away from Amber because he feared she might actually try to end her. He seemed genuinely scared, she said. I think he knew she was crazy enough to do it, and she knew he would be the one to clean it up if she did. That's pretty scary. So let's examine this. Not only is Elon saying she's capable of doing it, I'm scared she's going to do it, stay away from her. This woman is saying that Elon knows if she did, he would have to clean up. So here's a question. How many things have Elon had to clean up for her? How scared really is Elon of this situation? By the way, I'm not saying any of this has happened. I'm not saying Elon's done any of that. But again, when you're dealing with that much money, you deal with different levels of evil that you and I can't necessarily even comprehend. Is it possible that Amber had set out to end this girl, that Elon knew and was not only trying to protect her, but protect himself from having to deal with that situation? And given that, guys, what does that mean about how Elon feels about Amber? Is Elon genuinely scared for his own well-being when it comes to her, and that's why he keeps shoveling money her way? My thought is this. I wonder if Elon, because that's another thing, Elon was pretty quiet with this trial, and Elon refused to come testify, even though his name got brought up all the time, their affair got brought up, all these things got brought up. And then it seemed like there was silence, a lot of silence from him, right? And then we had that article come out about, oh, Elon was a word. So my question is, was Elon actually pretty happy about this trial because Amber finally got knocked down a peg? She now no longer has the social standing she had before. Elon sits back and looks at the situation and goes, maybe this is my out. But Amber said, oh, no, not so fast. I can still play the media. I've got them on my side. I feel like this also just further illustrates to us how evil the media is, that they know all of this about Amber and they're still on her side. But look at how they talk about Gates. And we know Gates was involved in a lot of stuff like this. We know all these top psychopaths that they love to praise are involved in stuff like this. So I don't think that's any surprise. But I'm curious, guys, what do you think? Do you think Elon's life is at risk, even knowing Amber at this point? Do you think she's actually tried to do things to him? Do you think it goes more beyond just blackmail with this? What do you think? Sound off in the comments and let me know. And also, what do you think about this Twitter? Do you think this had to do with Russia, Ukraine, or do you think that there could be other layers to this tweet? I've kind of wondered, was she doing all types of behaviors where he might have felt like his life was not safe during the trial because she was demanding money or else? Is it possible that what we're seeing with the fact that, oh, it's Russia or it's this or it's that, maybe he's actually speaking in code? Not saying that's the case, but I do think these are things to ponder. Okay, guys, if you like this video and you want to see more videos like this, make sure and subscribe, hit that notification bell. Would love to have you around on this channel. And if you like the video, leave me a like, leave me a comment, tell me what you think. Everything greatly helps, and I just appreciate you guys. Okay, guys, I think that's it for me here. Take care, lots of love, lots of blessings. Till the next video, I'm giving everybody hugs, kisses, stay safe, and as always, your girl. We'll see you soon. Bye, guys.